Hey everyone, hopefully you're killing it in the markets today. I'm going to go over uranium. I do think uranium is still one of the best sectors to look into. Oil and uranium have been the two sectors that have really been killing it for me. Uranium at roughly a 60 pounds to 1 ratio still, or a little bit below it, like high 50s, is still of insane value. I think uranium is probably the best value of any commodity sector, and that's why I continue to go over it. Plus, I got a lot of uranium people on the channel. It's one of my favorite sectors. So we're going to do technical analysis here. We're going to look at the companies. I'm going to give you my opinion. And we'll take a look, but this is not financial advice. It's just financial education. I don't want anybody to mix it up. You're going to have to do your own due diligence and make your own decisions here. And I'll obviously state what I would be doing in my opinions. So here we go. This is uranium. So I didn't draw a bunch of lines in here. We know that this is in a pullback here. Now, is this going to continue lower? Looking at this candlestick, I'd say you might see a little bit further downside. Usually when you get these little black candlesticks, they usually want to pop lower. Now, how much downside's left in this thing? It could sell off down to this, 50, somewhere in the 50s here. That chance is still there. I know we've seen some up days. People are getting excited. Be patient here. We could still see a little bit more downside before moving higher. It's that risk is still there. Same with Camco. The risk is still there. I don't see the buyers just stepping in these and pushing it higher in the big companies. So the risk is there. I'm not selling a single thing. I just want to make that clear. But it's still there. Usually when you get these little black days, you want to see the big white candlesticks on the up days and to build strength throughout the day and finish strong. That's what these big white days are, all through here. And then you want the small little down days. What we have over here are small little up days with big down days. That usually means the sellers are still in control and that there's sellers still out there. The volume hasn't stepped in on the buying side yet. Let's wait and see what tomorrow brings us. Next Gen Energy, again, I don't see the huge step in of buyers yet. We know that they're shifting money around in this sector. I see a bunch of large up days, large down days, money shifting all over the place. So I'm holding on. But I still think there could be potential downside in some of these left. Fission, big down day today after that huge up day yesterday. It's just fighting back and forth at the moment. We are still below. We broke out of the trend, or we broke out of the pattern to the downside here, and we're still meandering sideways. UU, same thing. I still think we could see some downside here. UEC, the battle between the buyers and the sellers right here. We'll see who wins. It doesn't look horrible. I think it might just go sideways. URG, same thing. I mean, we're kind of low. We might come up a little bit. Not really much to say here. Nothing here that really excites me or makes me scared. Denison Mines, nice little hammer pattern. We're throwing hammer patterns. That's like the beginning phase of a move. But we might chop back and forth for a little bit. UEXCF, we might still see a little bit of a down move here, because whenever you get these black candlesticks, it opens up and then closes lower, but was still an up day. The momentum's coming to the downside. So you might see like one more down day, or we chop sideways for a little bit before moving on up to work off the rest of the sellers. Here's Uranium Royalty Corp. Getting a bloody nose is what we call it. You get this big up day and then a little sell-off. Usually this is pretty much a bullish formation, and it usually continues afterwards. Standard Uranium, the retail investors are strong in this one. You can see a wick, kind of a reversal pattern almost. But we'll see what happens. It's tough to read. It did break out of this big resistance zone at 20 cents. So we might see it come up, pull back a little bit, and then gone, if the buyers remain stable. Now, Pure Point, it was up 5.6. I saw it was down too. There's a bunch of money must be shifting around here. So I'm just holding on. I'm not worrying about where the price takes it in the short term. And here's Sky Harbor. Sky Harbor had that massive sell-off yesterday, and now it's way up 15.2%. I think it's going to be pretty volatile and chop sideways for a little while. But down here, not a bad entry point down here. I would be looking at buying Sky Harbor, not selling it at this point down here. That's me. Same with Ken Alaska. We get these big sell-offs, a lot of volume, and then we got an 18.24%. If you get a bunch of volatility down here, try to pick something off at a low point if you want. It's up to you. But I don't think it looks that bad. I like the company. Centrus Energies, the nice compact little up days. We're just grinding sideways at the moment. Not really much to say here. We did break out of this pattern, and we're back testing. So this is where I usually like to buy in a company. Lightbridge is volatile as all get out. But you know what? Uptrend is still intact. So overall, I mean, the sector, the bigger companies like CCJ and the overall sector URNM, there's still some potential downside in here. I'm not scared. The ratio is cheap as heck for uranium. I'm still looking at companies. If they're selling off hard and they're starting to reverse, I'm adding a little bit of money in. I'm adding it in. The ones that I'm adding into I added to Goviax at 20 cents, UEX CF at 29 cents, UROY 230 maybe is when I bought, something like that. I might be getting that confused with another one that I think it's 230-ish. If I still have it here. Yeah, 230-ish, I think, 230 something. And then I did buy a little bit of Bannerman some days ago, like 11.5 cents or something like that. So those are the ones that I'm looking at and accumulating a little bit in. I own almost all these. I own across the wide spectrum. You probably already saw my clip on the uranium dollars per pound video, and you can see the ones that I own. I do own a little bit more than just the red highlighted ones in that video. I also own a little bit in a lot of them. They're just not very big stakes. So uranium, let's see what tomorrow brings us. It looks like some of these companies are super volatile. There's money moving around. People are repositioning. I'm seeing stuff go way down and then way up. It's going all over the place. So if it were me, I'd be patient. If you see a company that you really like that gets sold off super hard and it starts coming back up, buy that strength that day and hold on. Sprinkle a little money in if you like them. That's up to you. That's what I've been doing. Some of these that come way down, I sprinkle a little bit money in, and then if it goes up, great. If it goes down more, I'll sprinkle more in. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.